everybody, it's Christy back with another video, and today we are going to continue the metallic watercolor series with a set that I'm very excited about because I finally got my hands on the Coliro watercolors. So for a long time I had been putting these off. They are a little bit more pricey, and do I really need another set of watercolors? But I wanted to test these for a specific reason. I had a lot of people in the comments saying that they like these better than Fine Tech, and they are way cheaper than Fine Tech, and that they were a German-made brand that was really good. So for those of you in Europe, this would be a brand that you might be able to get your hands on. So all of those were appealing to me. Another thing about it is they have a dedicated gold and silver palette. And I know there's a lot of you out there that just like to have gold and silver for metallic details. So I'm going to test this palette, and I'm specifically going to test it against other gold and silver only palettes at some point. So that is an upcoming video that will be added to this Grand Master Metallic Watercolor series list. I also have a bunch of gold and silver non-watercolor mediums that work with watercolor that I was just thinking that I would also test. So if you guys are interested in that, let me know in the comments below at some point. But yeah, so today the two sets that I ended up getting are the gold and silver set and the candy set, mainly because it appears to have, this is called Stardust, so it's not truly a silver. It's kind of like a pearlescent, I think, gold. And then this one has a pink, a green, a blue, and an orange that's kind of like a duochrome. So this set appealed to me because this is kind of what I would use, but they did have a dedicated gold and silver set. Each of these sets runs about $27 to $28. So that's a little more than, let's see, for 6 paints, that's a little more than $4 a pan. You're getting about a full pan's worth of paint in each one. So this is going to be on the higher end of the price points. That's something to consider, but depending on the way that you use metallics or what you want them for, this may be the set for you. So let's go ahead, and we're going to go ahead and get to swatching them and see what they're made of. this testing ended up being very interesting because these paints are awesome. It's hard to see because of the way the light is shining in my room right now. But look at the shine that you get on those in the white. Okay, so the white is really good. The black is even better. Like, these are very good pearl paints. They are very good. They are very unique. It is very interesting to me how we have 6 golds here and they are definitely all different. They are not samey at all, and even in the light, they look different. So if you were thinking you wanted a really nice gold palette where every gold and silver in it is worth its salt, this is a really good palette for that. This guy, I did not expect that shimmery thing to read as silver as it does. It's really, really good. The blue is really pretty on black paper. I find it a little bit weaker on the white paper. If you can see it, it kind of has like a duller vibe on the white paper, but it's still really good. I wanted to see if I could mix colors, so I mixed a purple and like kind of a sagey green from what I had in this palette, so it is possible. The one interesting thing about these paints is that they definitely hold water for a really long time. I just put a little bit of water on each one and it made the paint flow like crazy, but it takes a long time for these paints to dry. And also, as wet as I had this, I thought they were gonna like flow everywhere. I actually thought maybe because of the size of these pans, I made these paints too wet. They're gonna go everywhere. They did not move. Look at the flow test. They don't even touching each other. Like, I really gave it to them. Same thing here. They are not touching each other. So, all things considered, that is a plus or a minus just depending on what you're going to use the paints for. So it's just something to be considered. I was not expecting when I went on the website to find out that these paints have light fast ratings. There are so many different configurations of these paints. There's 100 colors. I counted. And each set is about $28. You can buy them from their website. And there's all kinds of different sets. There's some color shifting sets. I'm hopefully going to resist buying more paint. But there's some really neat sets on there I'd love to try. And they have all these neat separate palettes. I didn't find any pigment information, but they did have light fast ratings, which in and of itself was pretty cool. So super available. So they have open stock on their website. So say that you really like these, but you're like me, like, hey, that blue's not great, and maybe I wanted another color in here, you can swap them out. These paints pop right out of these little palettes, and they pop right back in. So even if you were like, okay, I would like to save a couple of these golds and throw a couple other colors in here, you could go to their website and buy exactly what you wanted and fill it up. They even have empty palettes that you can fill on their site. So that is super, super cool to me. And then, like I said, awesome. The silvers and golds are absolutely incredible. They don't really move. Could be a plus or minus depending on what you use. I bet these are amazing paints for detail work. I would bet that for a second. So I gave them a 3.5 out of 5 for flow and a 3.5 out of 5 for price because they are pricey and there are things that do similar, that move similarly to this or act similarly to this for a better price on the market. And like I said, they didn't move at all. That may be a plus or a minus to you. It's just the rating that I'm giving them. I'm not saying that flowing is better or not better, but when it comes to watercolor, you do want watercolor traditionally to move a little bit, and they didn't move very much. So I'm giving them a 3.5 out of 5, still a rating of 27 out of 30, without a doubt, one of our best rated paints so far. And I am super pleased that I took the plunge and tried these paints. Maybe I'll buy a few open stock. Maybe I'll just make my own palette of open stock paints to play around with. But this is a really convenient little tin. And if I knew I was going to plein air paint or I was going to want to paint on the go, this would definitely be a great little set to just grab and throw in my bag too. So many positives with these paints. For those of you that have these available to you and on different parts of the world, I definitely think they are worth the money for sure. And I'm really glad that I got to test them. So what did you guys think about these paints? What gold and silver palettes would you like me to test these against? I would love to know all that in the comments below. And that's going to be it for me today. I hope that this inspires you to paint something fun today, and we will see you guys in the next video. Bye for now.